So we're the Broviate Union, and we're gonna teach you guys about some history about the Russian Orthodox Church through the past century. From 1901 to 1904, it was kind of hard to clearly conjugate the Council of Constantinople. Issues of two things were meant to be hopeful. Trouble was really stirring in Constantinople. People called the Old Catholics didn't like the Pope. His infallibility was seen with no hope. The other issue was choosing a calendar, Gregorian or Julian, just acting like some hooligans. The verdict was had, and soon they got cracking on the heresies of the Franco-Latin. Old Catholics were now in the Orthodoxy. The Julian calendar is used, but things got kind of rocky. This decade is dedicated to the Bolshevik clique. They went in to no end with Lenin at their hind end to stipend the church land from the church hand and ruin the cruise in the church can. Lenin sent the priests to exile for a while. Religious education was put in a trash can, replaced by mad communist propaganda. Commies still in power. The Russian Civil War was at its highest hour. The future wasn't very bright. The church was losing the fight. Orthodox clergy was losing homies left and right. Stalin stole Russia and power took flight. With all this mess, it was hard to see the light. To switch up the decades, I bring you a new age of persecution, execution, and church demolition. This kind of happened the whole 10 years. Everyone around was still filled with fear. All the fallen martyrs were bringing all the tears. Let what happened next be told by my peers.
In 1941, no, it wasn't much fun. Nazi Germany's attack on the Soviet Union. 1941 and beyond. Joseph Stalin revived the Russian Orthodox Church. Why you cry to intensify the war effort and the patriotic support. September 4th, 1943, Stargotsky and Samansky Yershevik were officially received by a Soviet, Joseph Stalin actually, in 1943. A new patriarch was elected, theological schools were reopened, and churches began to function. In 1945 to 1959 was pretty benign. It was the post-war era and it was time to care. In 1957 was Orthodox heaven. Many Russian churches had become active. Unfortunately though, Khrushchev said no. In 1959 campaign arise, 12,000 churches died. 1954, there was more. The government began to release the poor from the labor camps. Russia was revamped. Freedom sticks all the way through 1956. Everything was fine even in 1969. It was fun to be a Russian, especially in 1971. Relations between the church and the state improved considerably. Patriarch Timan was awarded medals from the Soviet Peace Committee. Having changed its political orientation, the Orthodox Church reviewed tradition. Socialist state, believers participate, movement of peace, problem increase, spiritual needs met, thanks to the government. But with government help, the churches began to yelp. The funding for church education isn't for a church, but a nation. But that's just an opinion, at least the people have their own dominion.
1981, now the Romanovs are honored. Canonized as saints, but not sure if they're martyrs. 4 years pass, and Gorbachev's in power. USSR in its 11th hour. Perestroika and glasnost give religion room to breathe. Been through a lot since 1917. Quickly approaching a most important date, millennial anniversary in 1988. In 988, 1,000 years ago, Russia became Christian because Vladimir said so. Enter the 90s, the end of a nation. Say hello to the Russian Federation, no longer exclusively an atheist state. The church can re-emerge and gets a lot less hate. We elect a new patriarch all on our own. Alexei II takes the Orthodox throne. New law on freedom of conscience and religious associations protects ROC's interests in 97. Restricting non-historic religions is a solution we select. Alexei strengthens the patriarchate. Support of this law should not come as a shock, since most of Russia is already Orthodox. By preventing the spread new religions he embraces, the fact that the church might continue in stasis for the next 10 years, the church finds a way to regain what it lost in the socialist heyday. Also reconnects with its branch in the United States, then Alexei dies in 2008. The election of Kirill creates a lot of controversy. Try to sum it up in just a few verses. Born in Leningrad, he's Russian to the core, and it's difficult to know if he's against or what he's for. Not identifying as a nationalist, he travels to Cuba and endorses communists. Furthermore, he's okay with the fact Russia annexed Crimea, an apparent attack. Continue with this point, it isn't a surprise that he supports restriction on the right to proselytize. Anti-terrorism law passed a few months ago basically says to evangelists, no. Without passing judgment, you must understand. The Orthodox Church has power in the motherland. The patriarch thinks he's defending the truth by preventing other religions from truly taking root. That being said, he's not just a villain. In fact, last winter he and Pope Francis were chilling. At a meeting in Havana, the two leaders discussed how to fight persecution and rebuild trust. Their first interaction since 1054, the two church heads opened a new door, putting together a joint declaration to promote Christian unity, not excommunication. Differences aside, one thing is clear: Russia's been through a lot in 120 years. There is much in Russia with which we disagree. Doesn't change the fact that it's church history. Hope we've helped you to comprehend as our rhymes draw near their end. The history and challenges the Russian church has endured, even if our method seems real absurd. Yo, Mother Russia, we out. Word.
But my hope will never
I didn't see the words. All right. Bring it back.
So do you want to like stop it? Like, you want to make sure it's recorded?
Hey, hold on, I'm gonna set up my phone and all that. We're breaking the song. 1914 is not the date that you need. It's a different date, you see. September 4th, 19...
Can that? Sorry, I didn't read the next line. Dwayne or Julian?
Take that.
I think I'll take that. What does it say at the beginning of that video?
Sounds like a rally.
Yeah. Okay.
Almost had it. Here we go.
Walk in.
Some beer.
That's just an opinion. It was the people have their own demeanor.